Once upon a time, in the verdant hills of the Zulu kingdom, there lived a young girl named Nomusa. She was the jewel of her village, known far and wide for her exceptional beauty and kind heart. Nomusa had 4 sisters, Thandi, Zanil, Sile, and Ayanda, each of whom loved her dearly but were fiercely protective. They often criticized Mandla, a boy from a distant village, who persistently pursued Nomusa despite their disapproval. Nomusa's daily routine included a trip to the river to fetch water for her family. She enjoyed these moments of solitude, where she could be alone with her thoughts and the tranquil sounds of nature. One bright morning, as she balanced a large clay pot on her head and hummed a cheerful tune, she felt an unusual sense of foreboding. As she made her way back through the dense forest, the stillness was suddenly shattered by a low, menacing growl. Emerging from the bushes, a lion appeared, its eyes fixed on her. Nomusa froze in terror, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. The lion, muscles rippling and teeth bared, crouched, ready to strike. Just as the lion prepared to pounce, a spear flew through the air with deadly precision, striking the beast and bringing it down. Nomusa, still trembling, looked around and saw Mandla step out from behind a tree, his eyes filled with determination and concern. "Are you all right, Nomusa?" he asked, his voice steady but tinged with worry. She nodded, her voice caught in her throat. She had always known Mandla as the quiet boy from the distant village, but she had never imagined he could be so brave and skilled. As they walked back to the village together, Mandla carried her water pot, and Nomusa glanced at him occasionally, her gratitude evident in her eyes. Her sisters, who had been anxiously waiting for her return, saw Mandla and began to whisper among themselves. "He's the one who saved me from the lion," Nomusa explained as they reached her home. Despite Mandla's heroic act, her sisters were unimpressed. They were steadfast in their belief that Nomusa should marry one of the 3 wealthy suitors from their village who had shown interest in her: Beki, Sifo, and Themba. These young men, with their rich backgrounds, were well known and respected by the sisters. "Nomusa, you must choose someone whose background we know and trust," said Thandi, the eldest sister. "Mandla is not worthy of you. He's just a boy from a distant village," added Zanil. "We know nothing about him or his family." Nomusa listened quietly to her sister's concerns, understanding their protective nature. However, her heart had been deeply touched by Mandla's bravery and kindness. Over the next few days, Mandla continued to visit Nomusa, always bringing small gifts, wildflowers, freshly caught fish, or beautifully crafted trinkets. He spoke to her gently, shared stories of his village, and demonstrated his skills in hunting and crafting. One evening, as the family gathered around the fire, Nomusa's father, a wise and respected elder, spoke up. "Nomusa, the choice of a husband is yours alone. Remember, it is not wealth or status that makes a good partner, but the strength of character and the bond of the heart." Nomusa nodded, her resolve strengthening. She appreciated the concern of her sisters, but she felt a connection with Mandla that she couldn't ignore. That night, she lay awake, contemplating her future. She thought about Beki, Sifo, and Themba. They were all handsome and wealthy, but her heart did not stir at the thought of them as it did for Mandla. The next day, Nomusa decided to follow her heart. She met with Mandla by the river, the place where he had saved her life. "Mandla," she began, "I have decided. I choose you." Mandla's face lit up with joy. "Nomusa, you have made me the happiest man in the world. I promise to cherish and protect you always." Word of Nomusa's choice spread quickly through the village. Her sisters were initially disappointed, unable to understand why she would choose Mandla over the wealthy suitors. They approached her, trying one last time to change her mind. "Nomusa," said Sile, "you are making a mistake. Mandla cannot offer you the life that Beki, Sifo, or Themba can." Nomusa smiled gently. "I understand your concerns, but I believe in Mandla. He has shown me his true character, and that means more to me than wealth or status." Despite their reservations, her sisters saw the determination in Nomusa's eyes and finally relented, though they remained skeptical. Life continued, and Nomusa and Mandla's bond grew stronger with each passing day. Mandla worked hard to prove his worth not only to Nomusa but also to her family. As time passed, the truth about Mandla's background began to surface. One day, a group of visitors arrived from Mandla's village, bringing gifts and greetings. They were dignified and spoke with an air of authority. It was then revealed that Mandla came from a royal family, his father being the chief of a distant but powerful tribe. The distance between their villages had kept his noble heritage a secret. Nomusa's sisters were astonished. They had judged Mandla based on what little they knew, never imagining that he could come from such a prestigious lineage. They approached Nomusa with newfound respect for her decision. "Nomusa, we were wrong," said Ayanda. "We judged Mandla without truly knowing him. You have chosen well." Nomusa smiled, her heart swelling with happiness. She had always known that Mandla was special, and now her sisters saw it too. Mandla's humility and unassuming nature had hidden his noble background, but his actions and character had always spoken louder than any title or wealth. With the support of her family, Nomusa and Mandla's love blossomed. Their union brought the two villages closer together, fostering a bond of friendship and cooperation.